Hey guys, I guess I'll tell you about my last experience in prison. Um, what happened was my probation officer self-injured, like burned himself, like with a cigarette now, like, completely. And I don't know, basically she violated me, and I thought some guy blackmailed her for sex, so I sent some text, and she said, he's threatening the guy or some shit, and like she basically violated my probation. Um, she was a real bitch too. Like, um, and my bond was $100,000, which was violation of my Eighth Amendment rights, which is that um, excessive bail shall not be levied or posted. So usually, if you violate probation, your bond's like 2,000. Mine's like 100,000. So it's 10%. So my family's about to post it. So I get to the jail. I was in the first jail for a few days in the psych department. I said, no, I don't want any medication. So the Q doctor, pink hair, was like, okay, I won't give you anything. I arrived in the prison. Right before they left, I left the prison. I did a Nazi salute, just jokingly, you know. And when I get to the prison, it turns out my phone was cut. So I don't know whether this was the start of a hostage situation or whether they noticed that I did Nazi salute. I don't know, but my phone was cut. I agree, my phone was cut. They're like, okay, well, here's your cell. As if some like fat guy covered in tattoos. It smells completely like piss. He pissed all over the cell. I asked the female seal, I'm like, hey, so if I refuse to go to the cell, I'll go to segregation, right? She's like, yep, you'll go straight to segregation. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna go here tonight, but not anymore. So I go there, laying in bed, everything smells like piss, coming off 100 billion medications. And in the morning, the social worker comes, and she's like, "This isn't a safe placement," and she moved me to this older guy's cell. So I go to the cell, I sit there. They pop open the doors, and I see this like old, not a friend, but like an old person from jail, a kid my age. We talked. I talked to the female CEO. I'm like, I know about what it means to be never getting released and all this shit. She's like, never getting released. I'm like, yeah, never getting released. You know, my phone's still cut. On the way to lunch, some kids slid us some coffee through the door, like contraband coffee. It's coffee, but you can tell by the makeup that it's not decaf. It's the real shit. It looks different. So I'm like, yo, let me get some coffee. He's like, fine. So I drank some coffee. Uh, Apparently, this one black lady was astonished that I was talking to a female correctional officer. Like I'm not a person, and everybody gave me a bunch of coffee and shit. And she moved me to like the emergency cell. So the emergency cell is okay right next to the bubble. It's not like a sealed off bubble, just like a desk in the middle of the female correctional officers, two female correctional officers at the time. And I just like started talking to them and yelling shit to them, and we would talk back and forth. So I was in heavy withdrawal from all the medication. So in the morning, the psychologist came. First, social worker came. She's like, "Oh, what happened?" I don't know. This black lady. I was just kind of like talking to a correctional officer. I wasn't really doing anything. She put me here. She's like, "Oh, that makes no sense." Then the psychologist came. She was Eastern European. And she's like right off the bat, she's like, "Do you hear voices telling you to hurt yourself and others?" I'm like, "No, I don't hear voices." Whatever schizophrenia is, it's not developed to that extent with me. Whatever schizophrenia is. But I'm like, listen, I really need medication, so just take me to the emergency unit and give me medication. She's like, okay. So a few hours later, I get to the emergency unit. It's basically like an empty cell in the medical. Nurse supposed to check on you. Nurse never check on you. And they give me my meds, and they're like, listen, man, you're the doctor. You probably got word of me. Listen, your meds are if wanted, like Purine or whatever. So if you want them, take them. If you don't. We don't care. I'm like, yeah, I'll take them. Fuck it. At first, I'm like, fuck, I need something. Like, I would go through her withdrawal. I was there for like 10 days. I was having seizures, I think. I saw the female correctional officer like going around there. I'm like, hey, I'm having seizures, man. She's like, I can't help you, bro. I'm like, okay, bro. Yeah. So those subsided. I got off the Clozaril. And she prescribed like a bunch of Risperdal. We were discussing like what to take. I'm like, yeah, I guess Risperdal. I mean, I was so out of it. I should have been like, nah, nah, I have nothing prescribed. Let's leave it at that. And if I want, I'll take it. But I wasn't thinking straight. So she overdosed me on Risperdal. I come back to the unit, and I'm there. Um, I refuse the Risperdal. Like, I go out, talk to everybody, we have fun. There's a little group for like 20 minutes every day. When the social worker comes talking to everybody, we're having fun. Um, I talked to the food correctional officer some more. He came by my door. Then when we got out, this I refused the medication. I'm like, I don't need the medication. I talked to the psychologist. She was like Eastern European. I'm like, listen, I don't need any medication. And she's like, well, okay, well, I'm gonna place you in the emergency hold cell again. I'm gonna place you in the emergency hold cell again. So I get back there, and then I start talking to the correctional officer. It was a few days I rejected medication before I got put in the cell, and I'm like, listen, I have a very nice family. I have a very nice, you know, intelligent family. How to phrase it, and like they'll pay you back and everything. If you could just post my bond, which is $10,000 for her, and she we had a great conversation for like hours before this happened. She called my family. She posted my bond, but they didn't release me, and I don't know why they didn't release me. They could handle the fact that if you don't see a body out inmates for the first time in the Department of Correction history that ever happened. But yeah, and she was like the most popular CO in the whole fucking building too. It wasn't just some random chick. Uh, Meanwhile, while this is going on, I was telling everybody this medication is euthanasia. They're just poisoning you. They're just killing you. And you're taking it, and everybody's like, he's right. And they could do a med call, and everybody's like, no, I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. I was gonna speech out the cell door. Once they put me in back into the restrictive cell, um, not the emergency mental, it's like a cell, bottom tier of the unit, you're still in the unit. I was giving speeches, everybody started doing decals and stuff. I mean, obviously I'm not a Nazi, but I don't know, they did something, so. So they released me, and the psychiatrist came to me. He's like, "Why don't you take your medication?" I'm like, "Listen, if you can lower the dosage a little bit, I'll take it." He's like, "Well, according to your chart, that you do best on this medication." I'm like, "Bro, you're a retard." Uh, uh, so he's like, "Just take the medication. You'll be discharged." He was like, "You won't be like stuck in prison forever. Just take the medication. You'll do this." And I also at that point, I was taking the medication, and then discussed it with the psychiatrist was going to come in a few weeks. But I didn't take it, so he brought me upstairs again. And then when I got upstairs again, word got out that she tried to bomb me out and everything. And like I got everybody to stop taking medication. So I don't know he was just crazy or they're trying to punish me. But typically you stay there for a week. I was there for 2 months. I had books from my mom. I had all my papers. We had a probate panel hearing, and yeah. So that's basically it, I guess. They kept me there for 2 months, and like this black security, a black correctional officer came down there, and she was like, um, what do you call it? She was like, hey, well, who's this guy? Why should you talk to him? And the social worker was like, shh, 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 don't talk to him. Like, he's not getting out, you know. So when it came time for the court date, uh, I was brought individually to court. Uh, two FBI came, two FBI people, sergeant uniforms, correctional officer uniforms. A very quiet drive, no music, just driving there in the sedan. I got out eating peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which you never get. You get bologna. Like, they made me a little peanut butter and jelly sandwich, gave it to me just as a little, reminder that they're FBI. I got to court, and then they raised my bond even more. The if I was gonna pay, that was very excessive. So I don't know. Um, I kind of went out of my mind after, basically, because then we applied to this program that accepted me, they rejected me. I went out of my mind because I damaged my voice, like singing out the cell, and I don't know, I was just like, my life is over. And unfortunately, I mean, it's not over, but it's an unfortunate thing to happen. Uh, so I went from the coolest guy there, to like just completely destroyed over my voice. Um, yeah, so um, I was there for altogether 8 months, 7 months. Uh, I really did not enjoy it. Um, and the whole experience ruined my life because of the voice thing. I mean, obviously it was damage your voice, but I just went crazy with it. And the reason why I was singing was because I was really like sexually aroused, but I couldn't masturbate because my hand would shake. So I would just like sing, and I used to, after a couple of days, even more, like I just damaged something. In fact, I had two voices at one time simultaneously, just severe damage. I mean, usually people get operations for that, but somehow mine kind of you start back to normal. I don't know. I talked to the med nurse. I went from like a cool block to like a retard block, where everybody was just like a poor retard. Nobody had TVs, nobody had acting. They're all fucking retards. And like there was like this med nurse I was talking to. Everybody took the medication, and I was big. I am dying. I am gonna hang myself. Just watch. Oh, you're so sexy. I wish we could have like. I saw her one time before in the emergency unit, and the first thing I said to her was, "Do you want to get married?" I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "Will you marry me?" And she was like, "No." Yeah, oh god, that's the first time I ever asked somebody that too. So, well, I'll finish up the rest later. That's basically the idea of what happened. Um, yeah.